I'm a bit sad today because I think my drill driver has died. The last few days I've noticed my little Guild impact driver has just been making more and more noise and sounding more and more painful. It was cheap and nasty when I bought it, and they were on offer in Homebase, I think, as a pair for a ridiculous amount of money. It was, £30 or £40 or something when I got them. I only bought them because they were there and they were at a price that was so ridiculous I couldn't really ignore it. And to be fair, the drill and the driver have been brilliant. They're 18 volt. The old Makita ones, I've got a 14.4, and they're the old NiCad batteries, so they need new batteries because they're worn out now, and they're £90 a piece or something ridiculous as well. So I got this just on a whim almost, and I've used it now constantly for probably 18 months. In fact, it built most of the shed. It did most of the work, the heavy lifting on the shed itself, on the assembly and the driving the units together and all that sort of thing. So it's a bit like a scabby old dog. I rather like it. I've got rather fond of it, but it's, as you'll hear in a minute, it's sounding really quite bad. So it's time to either take it apart and see if it has to be put down and dyed, or whether there's anything simple to fix it. So I'm just going to get it on the bench, and we'll have a look and see what's involved. Now, I don't think these are available anymore. I certainly don't see them around. People keep thinking I've got a Ryobi, but I haven't really. I ought to just cover the badge up and nobody had realised. But we had some of these at our Minin sheds, and they pretty much all died within a matter of a year, but I think a lot of that was misuse. But we've recently just had some new Erebauer ones, and they're identical, so it's this tear down, whatever you call it, is probably going to be applicable to anything like that. If you've got horrible noises coming out of yours, we'll probably find out what it is that's causing it. So let's have a look inside and see. Small wooden tray that's got a lip around the edge and a soft foam base. It stops the bits bouncing all over the workshop, and it keeps it much easier to keep all the pieces in one place. So it's been quite a useful little exercise in woodwork, and it's also proving useful as a means to take things apart. The front of the drill comes off with 4 equally sized screws and washers, and once that's taken off, it's fairly obvious that it's not the front part that's making the noise. I thought it might have been a bush or something in the front that was breaking down or packing up, but it doesn't appear to be from there, so it looks like the whole of the side's got to come off as well. Side screws are laid out roughly in the same places as they appear on the side of the drill, just to make sure that if some of the screws are longer than others, they go back into the right holes. In this instance, I think there's only one that's longer than the others, but it's important to get that right, because otherwise the long one will poke its way through into the other side of the drill and out the other side if you're not careful. And it's fairly apparent once the side is off that there's not a lot that's going to be going wrong in there. There's a gearbox housing that's plastic, but the sound again doesn't seem to be coming from there, and it looks like it's as simple as the sintered bush at the end of the main drive shaft. So we'll try a bit of oil on that and see how that works. And it's as simple as that, just a spot of oil, just that there's no way of getting at it without taking the casing off, and it's now back to its old self again. Well, I call that a result. I'm delighted. The thing is now sounding back to its normal self. Simple enough fix. I was almost prepared to throw it in the bin without taking it apart, but it just shows that sometimes it's very easy to just repair something that, for the sake of undoing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screws, something like that, and 4 on the front, you can get your tools back to a decent state. So I'm off to go and put this thing back where it belongs, and it'll go back into use again. Hope it was of use. See you all on the next video. Cheers now. Bye.